Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. As Donald Trump flails and falls further behind, Trump's presidential campaign supporters are melting down. Conservative podcaster Megyn Kelly just went berserk over the news that pop star Taylor Swift is endorsing Kamala Harris and citing LGBTQ plus rights.
F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
It is often difficult to translate Megyn Kelly. Logic, facts, and basic reasoning are not her strengths. But it sounds like Kelly believes, as Donald Trump does, that underage children can get gender transformation surgery at school, perhaps in the nurse's office, and without parental consent. None of that is true. What is true is that Democrats support making good faith accommodations for people who are LGBTQ+. Some Democratic billionaires like Taylor Swift support those rights. So Megyn Kelly and others are freaking out because Taylor Swift has a large following that might actually vote as Swift is recommending. Donald Trump running mate J.D. Vance is also having a difficult time with the Taylor Swift endorsement of Kamala Harris. And Vance keeps undermining Donald Trump. Vance tried to downplay Swift after a Fox News anchor pointed out Swift's massive following.
She has 283 million followers on Instagram, and I'm sure that someone brought to your attention that she signed it, childless cat lady. This is a phrase that you are going to hear in your dreams and your nightmares probably for many years to come. How do you speak to women voters who obviously they care about what she thinks?
Of course. Well, look, we admire Taylor Swift's music, but I don't think most Americans, whether they like her music or fans of hers or not, are going to be influenced by a billionaire celebrity who I think is fundamentally disconnected from the interests and the problems of most Americans. Look, when grocery prices go up by 20%, it hurts most Americans. It doesn't hurt Taylor Swift. When housing prices become unaffordable, it doesn't affect Taylor Swift or any other billionaire.
Any other billionaire like Donald Trump? He is not affected by grocery costs and housing prices. And Senator Vance, when you say, I don't think most Americans are going to be influenced by a billionaire celebrity who is fundamentally disconnected from the interests and problems of most Americans, that might as well describe Donald Trump. You are literally undermining Trump. Now, Senator, I get that you often don't think before you speak. And many of us thank you for that. Donald Trump would be an even more serious threat to our democracy if his running mate was not a moron. But good grief, do you ever not put your foot in your mouth? Is it because you, like other conservatives, are feeling pressure over this losing campaign? Former Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is hoping for a job in the next Trump administration if Trump wins, and McCarthy seems to be feeling some pressure. McCarthy went on CNBC and tried to downplay Donald Trump's debate performance, a performance that most Republicans said was a disaster.
But let's not overthink it. This is like you had a wedding and it didn't go exactly as you wanted, but no one else really knows it. Trump controlled.
Other people know this.
Yeah, but Trump controlled himself more than normal. Okay.
I don't think that's an argument that's going to make people feel good.
From that point of view, did he miss opportunities? What she did well, I would say, she would avoid answering the question, then pivot to something and talk about the crowd size or talk about
Wharton, the nonpartisan analysis that says the Harris plan will help the economy and the Trump plan will hurt it. And by the way, did you catch when Kevin McCarthy said Trump controls himself more than normal? If that's true, then behind closed doors, Donald Trump is a stark, raving mad lunatic. Because nearly everybody who watched the debate saw Trump become unglued, lie repeatedly, and obsess over debunked stories like immigrants eating household pets. That's more controlled for Trump than normal? Kevin McCarthy knows something the rest of the nation needs to hear. Seriously, the President of the United States has the nuclear codes. If Donald Trump is usually less controlled than we saw in the debate, that would be good to know before November 5th. Now, let's switch back to Taylor Swift. As out of control as MAGA world has become over the pop star's endorsement of the Harris-Walz campaign, most Democrats are taking the news with gratitude, modesty, and humility. Case in point, Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. The Minnesota governor learned about the Swift endorsement live on MSNBC as Rachel Maddow read the Swift social media posting. Watch.
I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early. I will link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, signed Childless Cat Lady. I have to get your response to that, Mr. Governor.
All those things, I am incredibly grateful, first of all, to Taylor Swift. I say that also as a cat owner, a fellow cat owner. Look, Swifties, you heard it. We know that it's there. That was eloquent, and it was clear. And that's the type of courage we need in America to stand up. We've seen it out of those Republicans who were at the DNC. We've seen it out of women who would like to have their own personal lives kept personal, but are forced to go out there because they nearly died because they can't get abortion services in a pregnancy. And now you have somebody like Taylor Swift coming out, making that very clear. This would be the opportunity, Swifties. KamalaHarris.com. Get on over there. Give us a hand. Get things going.
Well, apparently things are going. The Swift link has reportedly sparked tens of thousands of mostly young Americans to register to vote. And presumably, most of those new voters are going to do what Taylor Swift wants and support the Democratic ticket of Harris-Walz. And keep in mind that even a few thousand votes could make the difference in some of the battleground states like Wisconsin and Arizona and Pennsylvania and Georgia. So this is a big deal. Most political strategists know it, most members of the Trump campaign know it, and even some of the supporters like Megyn Kelly know it, and all of them seem to just be going crazy. Donald Trump's campaign is in trouble, the Harris-Walz campaign keeps surging, and we are less than 8 weeks until Election Day. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.